what happens to your escrow account when you refinance a mortgage loan. Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of More About Mortgages. My name is Ian Moore, and I'm a loan officer here with Premier Mortgage Lending, and thank you for joining me. Please make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I would really appreciate it, guys. Today, we're going to be talking about what happens to your escrow account when you refinance a mortgage loan. To hone in on this topic, I have an example that we're going to use for a recent loan that I closed of a refinance. But before jumping into that example, I just want to briefly explain exactly what happens and what exactly an escrow account is and what happens to it when you refinance your mortgage. An escrow account contains your property taxes and your homeowner's insurance, and it gets established at closing when you purchase your house. So when you buy a house, you establish an escrow account right there at the closing table when you put your first 15 months of homeowner's insurance in there. Technically, the first 12 months, your first year of homeowner's insurance gets paid to the agency that you're taking that policy out with right there at the closing table. And then escrow guidelines require at least a 3-month cushion. That's why you bring 15 months of home insurance. 12-month annual premium, 3-month cushion. Taxes, you're looking about anywhere from 5 to 7 months of property taxes, depending on the month that you close throughout the year. That sets you up with an initial escrow account. Now, let's just say a year down the road, after 12 to 13 payments, you decide to refinance because rates are still at record lows, which they still are. So refinancing is a great idea. And let's say you look at refinancing that mortgage you've had for a year. That escrow account that you established and took out when you bought that house at closing, you're closing that escrow account out. Escrow accounts do not get transferred. They're not transferable. Therefore, when you refinance a mortgage loan, you close your current escrow account and establish a new one at closing of that refinance. However, you don't need the full annual premium of homeowners insurance with an additional 3-month cushion and 5 to 7 months of property taxes at this point, because you already had an escrow account, you've already owned that house, you're just reestablishing it. So essentially what happens is that you bring anywhere from 5 to 6 months of homeowners insurance and 4 to 5 months of property taxes, and you start a new escrow account, and that previous balance of that old escrow account actually gets refunded to you, and you receive that via a check in the mail within about 2 weeks of closing. So long story short, you close out your current escrow account that you opened when you bought the house and open a new one when you refinance, and you're refunded the balance of your previous escrow account. So for the sake of this example, guys, and so you have the information and can see it right in front of you, we're going to be putting the characteristics of the current loan on this side of myself and the new loan characteristics on this side. So the homeowner that I recently helped refinance, their information here is going to be right here. Current loan amount, current payment, how much of that payment will be in escrows, and what their current escrow balance is. And then on this side, their new loan amount, new monthly payment, still the same amount of escrows, and then how much they're going to need to recoup their escrow account at closing. So to dive right into this example, guys, we're going to use a loan amount of $450,000 right here. This is the current loan amount. Current payment with that $450K loan amount is $2,900. Of that $2,900, $700 of it is in the form of escrows. Current escrow balance for these homeowners that are refinancing, they have about $4,000 in that current escrow account. Now they're going to be refinancing with a new loan balance of $454,700. Their payment will drop to $2,600, and of that $2,600, $700 is still in the form of escrows because property taxes and homeowner insurance aren't going to necessarily change when you refinance your mortgage loan. So $2,600, this person is saving $300 a month, and they're going to skip a payment. That's enormous, and anytime you can save even $100 or more, depending on what you're doing, paying off debt, dropping your rate, it's going to be worthwhile to look into a mortgage refinance, guys. So anyways, jumping back into the example here. So this current homeowner has $450,000 balance with a payment of $2,900. $700 of that $2,900 is in the form of escrows with a $4,000 current escrow balance. They're going to refinance now to a new loan amount of $454,700, and I'm going to explain why. So their payments drop into $2,600, and they're saving about $300 a month. Escrows are still $700. The amount needed from them is going to be the $4,000 that is in their current escrow account now, and escrows every month for them are about $700. And we know that you skip a payment when you refinance, so we're going to want to account for that missed payment or that skipped payment and throw $700 escrows into the new loan balance. So that leaves us from a $450,000 loan amount going to $454,700, meaning that $450,000 is going to need to add that $4,700 to account for their current escrow balance and the missed monthly payment from them skipping a payment the first month after closing from that refinance. So that's $4,700 that they're going to roll into the new loan balance right here. Ultimately, this doesn't impact the payment all that much, guys. As you can see, these folks still save $300 a month. And the best part about it is that they're going to be refunded the balance of the $4,000 that's in their current escrow account. They're going to get that back in the mail via a check within 2 weeks of closing. They can take that money, apply it to the principal balance of their new loan here, or use it however they see fit. You know, if you refinance and get your escrow refund check back and you want to book a vacation for you and your family, go right ahead and book that vacation. You want to buy some Christmas presents? Buy some Christmas presents. You can do anything you want, as that is your money. You've already established a new escrow account for your new loan after the refinance or with the refinance, and you're good to go. So that's it, guys. $450,000 loan amount becomes $454,700. Why? Because the escrow balance of $4,000 that they currently have will be refunded to them, and they're going to want to account for that in their new loan amount to establish their escrow account. And because they're going to skip a payment as soon as they close, that skip payment will mean that $700 in escrows won't be accounted for, so they'll want to include that on their new loan amount here as well as the $4,000 they currently have in escrow, so that they're solidifying themselves with an escrow account that meets the regulatory cushion requirement by Fannie Mae. And by cushion, I just mean they want at least a certain number of months cushion in there in case you default on your loan or you miss a payment here and there. You have enough funds in your escrow account that you can still pay your property taxes and homeowners insurance, or that they can still pay it on your behalf. Anyways, I'm Ian Moore, guys, with Premier Mortgage Lending. Thank you for joining me for another episode of More About Mortgages, where we touched on exactly what an escrow account is and what happens to an escrow account when you refinance your mortgage loan. I appreciate you joining me for another episode. Have a wonderful, happy holiday season. And please make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you, guys. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.